Okay, let's see how quickly we can get through this, because I just had to turn the air conditioner off. Hi friends, welcome to another episode of the Lori Lulu Crochet Podcast, episode 39. My name is Lori. I live in the Chicago suburbs with my husband and our two cats, Dixie and Daisy. I love to crochet. I'm learning how to knit, and I'm learning how to sew too. Although there won't be any sewing this time. Anyway, you can find all that goodness. I am on Instagram and on Ravelry. I know, but if you want to go to Ravelry, you can find me there. Instagram, it's LoriLulu327. There's an email for this podcast. It is LoriLulu327@gmail.com. Sorry, my mind is moving faster than my mouth. I do have a Ravelry group. It is Lori Lulu Crochet. There's a link down below if you wanted to join. All links, all patterns that I talk about, yarns I talk about, I will put links to all those down below. If I can find a non-Ravelry link, I will put that down there. I realized that last time all my links were to the Ravelry patterns. So if they have a blog or an Etsy shop where they're selling their patterns, I will put that instead. Just because, you know. Anyway, so welcome to any new viewers. I'm glad you're here. You are most welcome. And returning viewers, hello again. So if you want to grab a drink, let's get started before it gets too hot in here. So first thing I'm going to talk about is victories. Victory is my word of the year. And so big victory for me is tax season is over. Yay! And I swear on the 16th, the day after, it is dead silent. And it's so glorious. Those 3 days, those Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, heading up to tax day, I was running ragged. I was looking, at one point I was on the computer, I was double checking numbers, and I was trying to find the right form to click on to double check the numbers before e-filing, and all the numbers were blurring together. I could not see. I'm that tired. I've been run ragged. Anyway, so if you have any victories, I would love to hear them. I do keep forgetting to share this with you. So a lady at church, her granddaughter Ella was born way too early and has had a big struggle. But in the midst of the quarantine and all that stuff, little Ella got to come home. She is living at home. She actually got to come home the week of Easter, I believe. So she is home. She is doing well. Every doctor's appointment, she amazes the doctors with her growth and her progression. And so yeah, she's doing great and still a long road. There may be some special needs disabilities. We don't know yet because she's still too tiny to tell. But still, she's doing great. Anyway, so other things that have been going on. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to record one this weekend. It's Sunday, just in case you didn't know. Sunday, July 26th. Ryan, usually every summer he goes to a special needs camp every week or every summer for a week, and he's the chapel speaker there. And because of this virus and quarantine, they couldn't really do camp, so they're doing a virtual camp. And so we've been busy recording his messages and getting them edited and uploaded and all that. So I wasn't sure if I was going to have time to do mine or the space on my storage on my camera or my phone for all of that. It's like I am desperate need of a new phone because that's how I speak to you guys. Anyway, we'll get there someday. Other big news, so sad. Stitches Midwest officially canceled. Was it this week or last week? I don't remember. So yeah, with all the quarantine and then the spikes in cases, they just were not comfortable having everybody in that tight space, which I totally understand. Disappointed, yes. And also Michigan Fiber Festival, which I thought would still be okay because it meets outside. They have canceled theirs as well. So, but the Chicago Yarn Crawl is still going on. They are doing a lot of virtual things on, so it's online. I'll put a link down below to their official website so you can keep up with what's going on. You can visit all the participating stores, yarn shops. You can visit them virtually and support them that way. I did go to my local yarn shop, which is just down the road, Llama Llama Ding Dong. So the yarn crawl started on Friday, and I went yesterday. I'll show you some things that I got. I didn't go crazy because I want to go to some other shops too. Support them while I can. And then, of course, I can always go back to Llama Llama and pick up the things that I wanted that I didn't get. So yeah, so that's that. And then also, with the whole Ravelry thing, I'm working on a blog. And then I'm thinking maybe I just want to go to Etsy. I'm still trying to figure things out. I did find my blog from a long time ago. I used to have one. It was just to keep family updated on what Ryan and I were doing. The last post I did was in 2012. That's how old that blog is. So yeah, but I would totally redo it, like do a whole new one. Anyway, so like I said, patterns and stuff, I will try to find alternate sources to Ravelry. So anyway, shall we get on to some finished objects? I have I have two that you know of, and then is it four things that you haven't seen? Don't worry, I'll explain it. Alright, so first one I wanted to show you, one I was most excited about. Although I'm excited about all of them, so. Alright, it was living in a Made by Me purple bag. I have the yarn, Superfine Yarn Company. They are the dyer behind the yarns that I picked. So it is my 6 wives shawl, or as I like to say, my 6 queens shawl. So it's in reference to the 6 wives of Henry VIII. The yarn that I used, Superfine Yarn Company, told ya. I would use their Euclid Sparkle Sock, which is 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% silver tone stellina. So it's sparkly. Because it's queens, you gotta have sparkly stuff. Alright, woo, here we are. So, I will explain the colors and why I picked them the way they are. So, here is the finished shawl. Ta-da! Last time you saw, I was here. And so I did all of this. So pretty. I love it so much. Okay, so the first queen is Catherine of Aragon. Her parents were Ferdinand and Isabella, just so you know. She is represented by the color Chambord, which is one full skein of the Euclid Sparkle Sock. So yeah, she was actually married to Henry for 24 years. That's quite a long time. And then if you add up all the other wives, it doesn't quite equal 24 years. Just saying. So yeah, and so I had one full skein of the chambord, and then I had a mini skein set. Again, same base, same yarn company, all that. So the next colorway is Dreamboat, and it is green to represent Anne Boleyn. She is the one, it's rumored that Henry wrote the song Green Sleeves for her. I don't think that's true, but that's just a rumor that's been going around. We then have blue to represent Jane Seymour. This is the colorway Plumage. Sorry, I have to keep referring to my notes to see. I don't have these colors memorized. So I chose the blue because Jane had the son that Henry VIII desperately needed to continue his dynasty. Anyway, we won't go into that. My thoughts on that. Anyway, so then we have Anne of Cleves, which is this lovely orange. That's colorway Mitzi. So I chose the orange because the portrait of her by Hans Holbein the Younger, just so you know, her and that she's wearing a lot of yellow and red and orange. So I figured that would this Mitzi would represent her very well. We then have the teenager, Catherine Howard. So we need the bright colors. I kind of like, I'm still kind of on the fence about how it pooled. You can see how the color pooled there. But nothing I can really do about that. So that's the colorway Amorous, which, if you know anything about Catherine Howard, that fits her too. And then the last one is Catherine Parr. So if you pick the name Catherine, you got at least half of his wives. Catherine Parr was the one that survived. I used the colorway Pennyroyal for her because I really like the pale lavender of it, but there's still bright pops of pink. Because she was very into educating women. She actually published 2 books herself. She's one that I like a lot. Actually, I could not pick a favorite if you asked me to. They all are unique women in their own way, you know. But look at this. Oh my goodness. It's so pretty. I wasn't able to put the stripes as long as they should be, just because I was running out of yarn, each colorway. So here's all I have left. I just put all 6 colors into a ball. So yeah, not much left. So that will go in my scrappy project for the end of the year. So we have divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. And those are the 6 wives of Henry VIII. Ah, so pretty. Okay, put that one back in that bag. Done. Next finished object is living in my Rapunzel bag with the sparkly purple. Love it, love it. This is the One Skein Wonder Light by Bella's Customs Crochets. Oh, I forgot to tell you, the 6 Wives shawl is by Emma Potter. There is a non-Ravelry site I can send you to, Etsy, where you can buy that pattern. So, back to this cowl. The One Skein Wonder is by Bella's Custom Crochets. She has a blog where you can get this pattern for free, or you can buy it on Ravelry. The yarn that I used is Attic Spin Dye, Rainbow Rainbow Zebra ED Awareness. So proceeds from this go to EDS research and to get people to know what it is. Ehlers-Danlos is actually something that affects your connective tissue. It's very, very rare, and I'm guessing it's very difficult. I have a friend who has it, and actually I found out this last week. I have another friend who has it as well. So the leftovers will go into a cowl for her. But I will talk more about that when I get to stuff that's going to happen soon. Okay, so here is the cowl. Ta-da! So this lovely zebra progress keeper came with the yarn. So that's where I was last time. So I didn't have very much to do. And actually it was Friday the 17th. I finished the 6 Wives shawl. I brought this with me because I knew I didn't have much to do on that one. And then I finished this and I still had like an hour left of work. Of course it was quiet. And then I'm like, now what do I do? My hands are idle. It's not good. Anyway, so here's the finished cowl. I thought it turned out really cool. And I really like that stitch. I think it's gorgeous. So anyway, whew. It's starting to get pretty warm because I had to turn off the window unit so you can hear me. Okay, so I have a few more finished objects to show you. We're moving right along. Okay, so last summer I did a little experiment with dyeing. And I mean like color dyeing, not dyeing. Because I told Ryan, it was like on a Tuesday, I was like, yeah, on Saturday I'm gonna dye. And Ryan's like, wait, what? Is that like a prediction? What are you doing? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna dye some yarn. And he's like, oh, okay. So I have this shawl. It's a pashmina shawl from my grandmother. And it sat on her shelf for a long time, so it got bleached by the sun, so it was like this nice line and an odd spot. And so that bothered me. So it's wool. I can dye it. So I did, and I didn't dye it very well. Like I'm learning how to do it. Just had issues with what it looked like. So I actually went and did some patchwork dyeing. So it looks a little better. It's still not exactly what I'm wanting, but you know what? I can live with it more than I did before. So here is the shawl. So yeah, I really wanted it more solid. Sorry for all the wrinkles there. Phew. But I didn't really want it to look this tie-dye, but it'll work. It's still pretty. So yeah, I'm happy with this. Not as happy as I'd wanted, but I'm still happy with it. And let's fold this up now. It's something I can wear that will remind me of my grandmother, because I miss her. So I figured while I'm going ahead and dyeing that, I remembered I had some bear yarn. Like, not bear yarn, but there was no dye on the yarn, so I was like, let's try dyeing yarn. And it was so hot last weekend. Of course, it's hot this weekend too. I'm not complaining, because I love the heat. So I decided to do solar dyeing, and because we had such a high heat index, I didn't have to leave my yarn out for very long. In an hour and a half, it was done. Like the shawl and everything, I did it all outside in the sun. So in the winter, when I wear my stuff, I can be reminded of these colors were made in the heat of summer, and just think of all the warmth that got baked into it. So the first one I'm going to show you, sorry, I keep it in baggies because I found a moth the other day. Whew. Okay, so here is the one. Is Air Valley DK. It's West Yorkshire Spinners. It is 75% wool, 25% nylon, and I have 252 yards. So I have 100 grams of DK weight yarn in this. The colors that I picked who are very special. I'll just show you. See? Look at these gorgeous colors. I'm so happy with how this turned out. So this one, since I'm not selling it, not selling yarn, I figured I can use copyrighted names, I guess, because it's just for me. So I'm calling this Sister Suffragette, because it's a song by my favorite suffragette, Winifred Banks, on Mary Poppins. Anyway, so the colors that I picked, so you have the purple, and there's green, and there's white, or white and yellow. I picked those because those are the colors of the suffragettes. In England, which that's where Mrs. Banks is from, their colors are purple, white, and green. In America, we decided we didn't want to be all copycatty, so we did purple, white, and gold. I do have some bits that are gold, some are more pale yellow than others. So I did half of the skein. Actually, I kind of did it in thirds. So I have a third of purple, a third of white, which I didn't even touch that with the dye. And then the third, I kind of did a little bit of green, a little bit of yellow, and then I did speckles in the colors. So like I did yellow speckles in the green, green speckles in the yellow. So when I made it's not really skein, but it was a ring. I made it pretty big so I can get big patches of the colors. And then when everything dried, I re-wrung it around the chairs, and so around my Swift, so it would actually fit on my Swift, and then skeined it up. So there's Sister Suffragette. So this, I think I'm going to do the Empower the People bandana. I know it's supposed to be solid purple, but I have a method to my madness, right? So that's skein number one. I have 2 skeins of sock yarn that I dyed. This is actually Lion Brand Sock Ease. So it is where is it? There it is. 75, 25, 25. This has a colorway of marshmallow, and it's not as white as I wanted, like the other skein that I had, which it's fine. It, still serves a purpose. So this is the sock yarn that I made. I figured I could do really cute Valentine's Day socks out of these. I forgot to weigh this one. One of them is 40 grams, the other one is 43, so I figured I can do shorty socks with those. And then I got some contrasting colors for heels, toes, and cuffs. This one I am calling Jolly Holiday, which is a favorite song of mine from Mary Poppins. So in the song, in that part of the movie, Mary is wearing that white dress with the bright red belt or corset cinch, I don't know what you would call that, and then she has like purple or pink shoes. So I had a big stripe of the red, and then I have a little bits of the pink throughout, and if it had been more white it would have looked a lot better, but it works. So Jolly Holiday. And then the last one, this is again Lion Brand Sakis. Oh, look at that one, that turned out so pretty. This one I'm calling The Place Where the Lost Things Go, which is a song from the new Mary Poppins movie. It's my favorite song of the entire movie. Love it so much. I do wish that these had turned out a little darker, and I was thinking maybe I will buy some gray dye and just like dunk the whole thing in and make it a little darker that way. I'm not sure. I'm still thinking about it. I have time to work on these. There's other things, other projects that are coming up. So yeah, I may not, because they're growing on me, they really are. So I have blue and I have purple. I tried to do the purple a little different color than the other, the Sister Suffragette, just because I wanted it to be a little different, not the same color purple. But I did have some leftover green that I put in here. I put some speckles of green and leftover pink in there as well. There you can kind of see some there. So yeah, I'm excited to see how all these work up when I finally do work with them. So, oh yeah, the Sister Suffragette is also August 26th is the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment. So that's kind of why I did it. So yeah, so that's finished objects. And make some progress. They're both new. You haven't seen me work on any of this yet. Actually, there's a third one. I'll get to that in a bit. So the first one is my Laguna socks. They are living in this lovely bag, which helps me do my socks 2 at a time. And I put a cute little llama corn pin on that one. So, sorry, that was totally my husband coming out there. Okay, so the yarn that I used is the Lemonade Shop, their colorway Laguna. The pattern that I'm using is the Basic Toe Up Sock by my friend Wendy. That one is on Ravelry. I couldn't find it anywhere else. But here is the yarn that I'm using. So you have these lovely blues and pinks and purple and then speckles of black throughout. So yeah, I've started the toe, and so I'm about 21 rows in. No, 41 rows in. I do think it's funny though that this one is ending up so much darker than this one. Like, can you tell how this one's darker than? I don't know if that's just how the skein dyed up and how I divided things up. Like, I didn't mean for that to happen, but there's my Laguna socks. The other one is my design. I'm calling it the March Cowl. And it is inspired by Louisa May Alcott. You know, her famous story, Little Women. They are the March sisters. It is living in my Chitingi bag made by Kalisha of the Quirky Monday Craft Cast. Oh, it's a heavy bag, mostly because I have my notebook in here to write down all my notes. I did several swatches in different hook sizes to see how the cabling would turn out. So here's one small sample of it. And then the next size up, right? Yeah. I put knots in it so I would know which one was which. So, show it this way. That's how it goes. Can't work my fingers. There we go. There you go. And then the next size up. Show you the right way. And then I'm like halfway through like the actual cowl. Not halfway through, I'm pretty far in. And I realized I was doing the cabling wrong. I'm like, oh well. It's my spin on it. So here's the cowl so far. So you have a lovely cable on the one side and then just plain single crochet on the other. Yeah, I'm really liking how that's working up. The yarn that I am using is just a plain solid color. It is Knitology by Knit Crate. You can still get this online. It's their glowing worsted base in the colorway C. The yarn is 40% superwash merino, 30% silk, 30% alpaca. Like, if you could just feel, just touch that. Can you touch that? See how soft and squishy this is? Like, this cowl is gonna be so amazing. I'm ready for it to be done because I think it's so cute. Okay, the last make in progress. Wanted to show you. This has been in timeout. I started these socks the first day of lockdown, which was March 21st. And I got through the foot, and then I wanted to learn how to do the fish lips kiss heel. I'll put a link down below. I don't know if there's a way to get it off of the, off Ravelry. I don't know. I will let you know in the link down below. So, trying to figure out the fish lips kiss heel. I think it's like, I have no problem reading crochet patterns. Reading knitting patterns is different, I think, because I'm not as confident in my knitting as I am in my crochet. So, yesterday, my friend Gabby and I got together, socially distanced though, and she helped me. Like, she actually would sit there and read the pattern to, like, step by step. Okay, now you do this, and now you do this. Put aside her own knitting to help me through this. So here, I don't even remember the last time I showed you guys this one. The yarns that I'm using is Adelaide Fiber Company on her Victoria fingering weight base. So it's 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, and the colorway is Birthday Cake. So here's one of them. So it's a light pink with blue and pink speckles in it. I'm also using this white sparkly for the heels, toes, and cuffs. So here's where they are. Here's where I am. So I have the whole foot, and then I did both heels yesterday. This one is pretty janky, although Gabby was like, it's beautiful, you turned out, you did so good. And then this one, it's like, I understand what I'm doing now. I understand, like, I just couldn't figure out the construction of the heel. So here it is. And then I tried it on, and it doesn't fit, it's too short. So I'm gonna have to rip out the heels, and then add a few more rows to the foot. But now I understand how to do the fish lips kiss heel, so I can do that. So that is the project for today, once this is all edited. So, oh, and it's living in my Wonder Woman bag, because I feel like Wonder Woman when I'm knitting. Okay, so really quick, because I'm getting pretty warm now. So I told you I wanted to do another cowl using this EDS awareness for my friend. And in my stash I still had some of this red wool-like yarn, so put that together. Somehow I'm still not quite sure the pattern that I'm going to use for this, but it's there, it's ready to go, get started. I did tell you I was going to try to do the Empower the People bandana with my hand-dyed yarn by me. My socks that I have that I'm going to make, sorry, with my yarn that I dyed. So, hold on. At Llama Llama, I found some mini skeins. It's From Me to Yarn. This is a Steady Sock Mini. So it's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. There's about 92 yards. So I found this red to go with Jolly Holiday. Thought that would be really cute. And then for my Where the Lost Things Go, I got this gray, bluish gray one, which now that I'm like putting these together, I'm like, maybe I don't need to over dye this with gray. Maybe I'll just leave it the way it is. So yeah, so those will be socks. And then Is that it? I think so. Yeah, that's it. So now to edit this, turn the air conditioner back on, because, whew. So yeah, that's all. I just want to say I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for watching, and hit subscribe, hit the like button, whatever. Comment down below. I hope you have a great 2 weeks. I should be back in 2 weeks. I may be looking a little different because I'll be older. Anyway, we won't go into all that just yet. Alright, so I will see you later. I hope you have a great 2 weeks, as I just said. Anyway, God bless. Bye!